It is such a privilege to be here speaking at this college that is named for, as so many have said here, the great and newly minted 2024 Presidential Medal of Freedom honoree Medgar Wiley Evers. He is one of the greatest civil rights leaders in our history. You all know that as people who went to the college named for him. James Baldwin said it, and so therefore I believe it. And he is connected in so many ways to many of the other greats who are also connected to Medgar Evers College. We know that Dr. Betty Shabazz taught at this school in the 1970s when the great Una Clark was matriculating here as well. And she brought her and my soror, the great Merle Evers Williams, here to this college. And so there is a connection between all of these greats. There is even a connection with the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., because we know that after the assassination of Medgar Evers, it was these widows, Merle, Dr. Betty Shabazz, and Coretta Scott King, who came together in a sisterhood, a sorority, that they did not choose to pledge. And it was they, Coretta Scott King and Merle Evers Williams, who nursed and sat with Dr. Betty Shabazz as she left this world too early because of a fire set by her grandson, her very troubled grandson, who her mom had named Malcolm after his grandfather. But the connection between those widows is part of the connection of all of the great civil rights leaders. And it is part of this institution because, as has been said before I got on this dais, social justice is wed into the DNA of Medgar Evers College. And so that sisterhood is wed into the DNA of this college. Dr. Betty Shabazz was just 29 years old. Just 29 years old when her husband was assassinated, and when she threw herself on top of the bodies of her little children in order to shield them as the bullets flew inside of the Audubon Ballroom in Harlem. Merle Evers was just 30 years old, with 3 children aged 9, 8, and 3 when she watched Medgar Evers, her husband, and the love of her life bleeding in front of her, in front of their home, shot by a Klansman as he exited the car in their driveway as he arrived home just after his fellow World War II veteran, John F. Kennedy, the President of the United States, had promised to deliver a civil rights bill that Medgar had been asking for and cajoling for and telegramming the president demanding, a bill that would become the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The first person to touch a copy of that bill was Merle Evers. He handed it to her in the White House when she came with her children to visit him. These were young people. 3 years after Malcolm was murdered, of course, Dr. Martin Luther King was martyred in Memphis, Tennessee, where he had gone to support striking sanitation workers. Black men who carried those signs that said, "I am a man," because despite having a good city job, all the West Indians in the house, we have a good city job, it's supposed to be a good thing, but they weren't being paid adequately enough that they didn't need to receive welfare benefits. They were mistreated and treated like a boy rather than a man, which is why they held those famous signs saying, "I am a man." That is why Dr. King was in Memphis. At the time of the death of her 39-year-old husband, Coretta Scott King, was 41 years old. At the time of his death, as I said, he was 39. Malcolm was 39. Medgar was 37. These were young people, young families with young children, 13 orphan children between them left behind when those men were martyred. But what that says about our history is that it is youth that provides the leadership at times that we need in order to grow, in order to change as a country. These youthful heroes were willing to risk their lives and lead because they believed in the power of even younger people to change this country into what it had the potential to be. These men in their 30s were leading activists who were your age. For those of you in the front row that are graduating, the young people who they were leading were in their 20s and sometimes even high school students who had the courage that sometimes their parents did not have and could not have because they had so much to lose. So many risks, not just lynching, but also losing their mortgages, being thrown out of their jobs. Young people didn't have those risks, and so they had courage. And so young men like Medgar led younger people like you. who did the sit-ins, who were the ones being dragged off of those Woolworths lunch counters, who were the ones being dragged out of the library when they did a read-in, dragged off the beach when they tried to swim. It was young people like you, your age. That is who the civil rights movement was. Those are the young activists who we praise, who are often unnamed and unknown, as Medgar Evers was largely unnamed and unknown, despite having this college in his name throughout most of the country. That's the reason I wanted to write a book about him, because I thought he deserved better. But I also believe the young people your age who made the movement live, who gave it life and breath, also deserve to be honored, as you're being honored today. All right, so I'm just going to give you really quickly a few pieces of advice that I actually did write down because I wanted to make sure they were very specific, okay? Are you ready? This is for the graduates. Because I think this is, I'm just going to say, because I did 2 years of research on the man, so I'm just going to pretend like I know exactly what Medgar Evers would tell you to do. Thing one, find someone or something to love. Love sustained Medgar Evers in the struggle. It gave Myrlie Evers Williams the strength to go on after he was gone, to spend 30 years fighting until she got justice for her man, and she did. And love doesn't need to be romantic love. It can be agape love, the love of God. It can be the love of something that you do for a living, the love of art, the love of music, the love of your friends, the love of your group chat, the love of your support system. It can be the love of anything, but find something and some love in your life. Thing two, be courageous. And believe it or not, all it takes to be courageous is to do the thing that you know is right without anyone asking you to or without asking permission. That is what courage is. Now, Medgar had to have a special kind of courage. He had to have courage on the battlefield in Europe to fight in World War II and to make it home alive. He had to have the courage to drive through rural Mississippi and outrun the Klan in his Oldsmobile Rocket 88. He had to have the courage to stand up to racists who had him on a hit list as number one on a list of people that they wanted to be killed. But today, you really don't need that necessary kind of courage. All it takes for you to have courage is to stand up for someone who's being persecuted. Stand up for someone who's being bullied. Stand up. Refuse to participate in gossip or nonsense. That's all Jasmine Crockett did. Stand up to a bully. Protect your friends and family from cruel people. That's all it takes to be courageous. So be courageous. Third thing, be proactive. Don't wait for somebody else to decide. If you know what's right, just do it. If you lead, others will follow. You know, when black people start to run, what happens? One black person got to run, and everybody's running. If you lead, people will follow. Number 4, be prepared. This is really important, because if you show up, sometimes that's all it takes to get the opportunity. But if you show up prepared, that's what you need to actually succeed. And you know from getting your homework done, which all of you did, because clearly you have the hat on, so you did. And having to be ready for class presentation, nothing beats preparations. If you are prepared, then when opportunity knocks, you can jump on it and you can soar. Number 5, insist on mutual respect. This is key, and this is something that Medgar Evers taught. This was the basis of his activism, insisting that black Mississippians had the right to be called Mr. and Mrs. when they went into a store rather than boy and girl or ignored. They had the right to be served at the Woolworths lunch counter rather than have food shoved at them out the back. We don't face that level of Jim Crow, but today our society still needs a lot of work. It's why we still do need diversity, equity, and inclusion. And yes, I embrace it, and affirmative action, because this country is not what it needs to be. But insist on mutual respect. So lead with respect. Lead with respect, expecting the same in return. Now, if you don't get it back, you might have to demand it. I know our forever First Lady said, when they go low, we go high. But when they go too low, I'm just saying the Earth's core is an option. I love you, Michelle. Number 6, participate. Democracy cannot survive without you. That means you vote in every election, from the rooter to the tutor, school board to the White House. You do not stand down and let somebody else make those decisions for you. Run for office if you don't like the candidates. Donate to candidates if you want them to succeed. A society without participation is actually not a society for long. And after a while, people who look like you and think like you will be counted out completely. And in too many states, that's what we do. We count ourselves out. We disenfranchise ourselves. And know that it is a vote that decides who sits on the Supreme Court, because it is the Senate that ratifies and the president who chooses. So if we do not cook, we quickly wind up on the menu. If you're not cooking, somebody's on the menu, and it's probably you. So those are my admonitions to you, graduates, and I will add just one more. And this was actually, it was on my paper, but it really was reinforced by all of those who spoke before me, particularly the young sister who introduced me. Believe in you. Believe in you. Because you are not just the change that we seek. You are not just our living Medgars and Merles. You are not just capable of changing everything about this country for the good. You are the change you seek. You are the solution to your problems. You are the solution to your pain. You are your own publicist. If you don't publicize you, I don't know who you think is going to do it. You need to boost you. You need to brag about you. You need to know that you are great, and you need to not be afraid to say that you are great. Wherever you come from, wherever you came here from, you got here. That means you are great. You are good, and you need to be the one to advocate that for yourself. Take time for yourself. Be nice to yourself. Take yourself on vacation. Take yourself to dinner. Take yourself to a movie. You be your date. Maybe if you want to have love, maybe you should be the one you love. Because if you don't love you and you don't celebrate you and you don't big you up and lift you up and big yourself up, well, who's going to big you up then? Big up yourself. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. Congratulations. Big up yourself. Much love. Congratulations to the graduating class of Medgar Evers College. Baby, 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 you made it. Congratulations. One love.
What does it truly mean to be a graduate of this esteemed college? Is it just a piece of paper, or is it something more profound within us? I believe it's our ability to persevere, fostered by our years here at Queen's College, to seek and to strive to better ourselves. Today, our graduation is a testament to this. My journey began in Guyana. A few years ago, my family and I, including our dog Snowbud, embarked on a life here in the United States, driven by our dreams for a better life. Arriving in New York with just $400, no friends, and no immediate community, Queen's College became a catalyst towards those dreams. Like many of you, I balanced being a full-time student with multiple part-time jobs, volunteering, leading clubs and organizations, and conducting research. Time management was both a challenge and a necessity. It took several attempts to get it right, marked by sleepless nights and tears. A special thanks to my aunt Nirvani and my roommate Gav for your support during these tough times. Like many of you, you likely had support from family and friends, which was crucial to your success. During the pandemic, I lost my grandmother to cancer and COVID-19. May she rest in peace. This tragedy, right before my finals, fortified my resolve to pursue a career as a physician scientist to create interventions to treat such diseases. My academic journey, like many of yours, was filled with multitudinous challenges. Even though I wanted to give up at moments, it was through perseverance and support from my loved ones and peers that I continued and excelled. My story is one of relentless pursuit, not merely one of academic and professional success, but of meaningful contribution to a community that has become my home. It was here at Queen's College I met inspirational professors such as Dr. Cataldo, Dr. Jerez, and Dr. Ronaldo, who continue to mentor me through my academic journey. Without the support of you, my community, I could not stand here before you today. I would like to thank God, my parents who are here in the crowd today, who have also instilled in me the value of education. My family, my friends, and all the amazing professors here at Queen's College, and my crew at the Learning Commons, and you as well, the graduating class of 2024. While preparing my speech, I asked several of you what words of encouragement you needed, and what echoed was "what now?" Each of us shares our own unique stories, but we all have the common drive to succeed, to face challenges head on, to learn from our failures, and to never give up. Whether you arrived here straight from high school, transferred from another institution, journeyed from across the globe, or returned to education later in life, we are all Queen's College students. My words of encouragement are this: keep an open mind, try new things, embrace failure and change, and appreciate your journey. Your next step may be graduate school, a new job, a growth year, or traveling. Embrace your community and network, and you can start that today. Look around you. Remember, we're all part of a legacy of perseverance and resilience. Let us carry forward the values we have learned and the bonds we have formed, and embody our college motto: we learn so that we may serve. Congratulations, class of 2024. Here's to our future filled with promise and possibility. Thank you.
As a former journalist whose first job at CUNY was right here at the Newark J School, I take special pride in the trailblazing achievements that have led this school to the top ranks of American journalism, education, and made it one of CUNY's crown jewels. That's something I cannot say, but I'll just say it. To a lot of children right in the system, but very, very proud of this school, and I'm proud that the school is led by Dean Moshkovsky, an inspiring journalist with a stellar career in 2 languages, no less. And that the school has been so generously supported by Kirk and the school's other committed donors, including the Tao Foundation, Knight, and Repson Foundations. Welcome, those of you who are here. I am proud that we have a journalism school that for nearly 2 decades has been at the leading edge of making journalism education more relevant, more diverse, and more accessible. Serving the public good has been the City Universities of New York core mission for 177 years. In today's world, there are few things the public needs more than truthful information delivered by clear-eyed, fearless, and ethical journalists. So many events over the past years have intensified this need and posed new challenges for journalists. It makes me proud to know that many of you will carry forward your training and sense of mission to inform and give voice to the people and the communities that are most directly impacted by conflicts and social change. It is critically important to tell their stories and so many others with depth and clarity and context. This is what the difference the CUNY Newark graduates can make. I am confident that the experiences you have had over the past 16 months, the demanding work you have done to complete the rigorous program here, and the guidance you have had from the J School's first-rate faculty have prepared you well to meet this moment. As you move forward in your life and in your career, following the path of J School's alumni who are making their mark in every corner of journalism, I only ask that you do not forget about your school and about CUNY, but more importantly, that you remember that the J School and CUNY will always be here for you. On behalf of our Chancellor Matos Rodriguez and the entire City University of New York, a nombre de nuestro canciller y toda nuestra universidad, we congratulate you, we're proud of you, and we are rooting for you, class of 2024. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Lara. I graduated in 2014 from Hunter College, Macaulay. And thank you to the entire Macaulay team for inviting me here to speak. I owe so much to the Macaulay program, both personally and professionally. In the Macaulay program, and it sounds like it's still this way today, thankfully, I was surrounded by tons of just overachievers, people that were interested in everything. No one was going to be typecast. No one was going to be about one thing. And to me, that was so inspiring. There was someone who was triple majoring in math, German, and English literature. He ended up working on 3D printed cars in Tennessee after graduation. There was the political philosopher, a cappella star, who ended up becoming a tax lawyer. There was no one who was, one like, I'm just going to do accounting or whatever. And I'm sure among the accountants here, I'm sure there's tons of varied interests as well. As someone who works in finance, I know. And it was those friends that really pushed me to value the experience of the thing in and of itself, not to try to pad my resume or try to get the easy A's. They pushed me to take the hardest classes possible. They pushed me to apply for those internships that I had no chance of getting. And part of that intellectual boldness is embedded in the Macaulay program itself. There's the Opportunities Fund, which allowed me to study post-conflict reconstruction in the Czech Republic and economic systems after communism, which, along with the seminars that I took with General Petraeus, the Hertog program, all allowed me to get my internship in the State Department, which is where I thought I was going to be. At the end of the day, though, it's the people, really, that make the program what it is. When I decided late in my academic career that actually the State Department wasn't for me and that I was going to go into finance instead, I was paired with an alumni from the Macaulay Network to help me get through the application process, update my resume, with the interviews. And with the interviews, trust me, it was rough. I thought I had to be some kind of finance bro. And I was talking about golf. I've never played golf. It was awful. And my mentor looked at me and she said, look, as long as you have the technicals down, actually just try to be yourself. And so I ended up bonding in my final round interview with the interviewer about my favorite founding father, Alexander Hamilton. And guys, this was 10 years ago, so there was no musical at that point. And that's what helped me stand out from the crowd and actually get the job. Once I started working in finance, I really missed that multifacetedness of college. And I reached out to a Macaulay grad again to help me bail me out of this one, and basically help me find something else to do. And he helped me apply for the junior board of a nonprofit that he was part of, focused on microfinance and economic empowerment. For me, that was it. I joined the board, I worked with that organization for many years, and I now sit on the philanthropy committee in equities for Morgan Stanley. And I try to work with other organizations with similar goals. As life goes on, there's this pressure to narrow yourself, to be about one thing, to be a finance bro or whatever it is. Hopefully none of you will be that. But, and I'm here to tell you that it's going to be your Macaulay people that are the ones that help you pull out of that. They're going to be the ones to remind you of who you are and what you're interested in outside of the day-to-day grind. And it's that Macaulay network that really allows you to be who you truly are today. And the cool thing is, it's like your class, but there's tons of you. So you have people from all walks of life at different stages. That mentor that helped me get the first job and helped me with that interview prep is now a client of mine at one of my largest accounts. And it just happens that way. My two best friends that I mentioned earlier, the triple major, the philosophy tax lawyer, they helped me read the speech or proofread the speech before I wrote it. So there's all kinds of people in your life that you're going to meet today, and hopefully as part of the Macaulay alumni community as well. So I urge you all to take those networks seriously, not because you want to network, but because you'll have that connection to who you are today as you're graduating. So with that, I welcome you all to the alumni community. Congratulations, and feel free to reach out if I can help with anything.
I just want to spend a little bit of time, if I may, focusing your attention on love. As Dr. King preached, love is the most durable power in the world, the most potent instrument available in humankind's quest for peace and security. And I agree. As you set out to navigate very challenging times, times that no doubt might breed disillusionment and discontent, please know that you have a superpower inside of you that nothing outside of you can defeat. and that superpower is love. And with it, you can light the world with your truth, no matter how dark the times may be. In love, you will find the courage to turn down all the outside noise in order to hear your inner voice. In love, you will find the strength to follow your heart and intuition when all around you might think otherwise. In love, you will find the opportunity even when living with loss. And in love, you will discover yourself even while you may be falling short. Now, you might say, how do I know these things? I know from personal experience. When I graduated from law school almost 20 years ago, my parents were very, very proud. All their hard work and sacrifice had finally paid off. I grew up in a working-class family, cutting coupons, putting clothes on layaway, ironing patches on my jeans. My parents would come home every single day and look at my homework and tell me, this is how you're going to get ahead. So when I graduated, it was a big deal. And I was standing on their shoulders and their family's shoulders, and it was a very proud moment. And a lot of folks thought I was going to go off and go work at a law firm, maybe make some good money and support my family and continue the trend. But I surprised them and became a hip-hop artist. Yes, a hip-hop artist. I graduated with a law degree, moved to Los Angeles, and for 5 years, I spent pursuing a dream. I pursued that dream because I believed in the culture. I believed in the power of speaking truth to power through the culture. And I could not be anything but who I wanted to be in that moment, despite all of the outside noise. And for 5 years, I toiled away, sleeping on air mattresses, keeping odd-end jobs like being a parking lot attendant, living in studio apartments, feeding on cup of noodles almost daily, hoping that my words would somehow make a difference. Now, I had amassed a lot of debt when I went to law school, and my mother would call me crying sometimes in tears. What are you doing? Use your law degree. Come back home. The irony is this: the love that my parents put into me, never questioning me, always supporting my dreams no matter what, always putting me in a position to succeed and making me feel that whatever I set my mind to, I could achieve. All that love was the fuel to my fire. I was able to pull from that love, pull it from inside of myself, and find the courage at every turn to make difficult decisions and to work through struggle and failure. So understanding your love and where it comes from, understanding where your love is sourced, whether it's your family, your parents, your friends, whether it's your children, your teachers, your coaches, you understand that and you understand how to tap into it, you can make a lot of things happen in this world. Even if your decisions confuse the very people from whom you draw that love and inspiration from. Was I successful as a rapper? Well, I'm standing here. So, certainly not monetarily speaking. I had a mountain of debt still hanging over me. But I did what I loved. I wrote, recorded music nonstop, read books, fed my soul with ideas about what it means to live in a more just society. I struggled, but I found meaning in the struggle. I obtained a better sense of self and grew stronger in my truth. I got comfortable in my own skin. I got comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. I did not know at the time, but what I learned through that process of struggle, enduring the ups and downs of trying to get back up on my feet after failing, would years later be what I could pull from when it came time to make another important decision. And that decision would come 6 years after I stopped doing music. I was working at a law firm in New York City, financially secure, providing for my family, and likely to make partner at this firm. My parents were overjoyed with the possibility that their son might make partner at this well-established law firm, a firm, by the way, that had not a lot of lawyers that looked like me, let alone becoming partners. I can remember back then thinking about my parents and how my success was built on the backs of those who came before me, who sacrificed so much. In some respects, I felt obligated to stay the course out of respect for those who fought so hard for those opportunities like the ones that I had. I already put them through my hip-hop journey. But in the end, I was unfulfilled. I couldn't shake the feeling of not walking in my purpose, and no amount of financial security or professional stature could change that. And as fate would have it, it was my time struggling as a hip-hop artist, getting to know my truth, learning how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, that gave me the strength and the internal fortitude back in early 2017 to walk away from practicing law, to take off what might be called the golden handcuffs, move my family back home to upstate New York, and run for Congress. I had never run for any elected office, government or otherwise, at any point in my life. And I was running in a district that was nearly 90% white, one of the most rural congressional seats in the entire country, a district no Democrat had ever won, a district our former president had won. And by the way, I was a rap artist, and I had a cover of me with a hoodie on that was being utilized against me at every single turn. A lot of people thought I didn't have a chance to win in this district. The ads about me were racially charged, and it was difficult to navigate. But rather than getting angry or becoming bitter, I leaned on love, love of family, love of community, love of home, love of country. We cut through the noise, met people where they were, one door at a time. We listened and sought to connect on a human level, beyond the politics and from the heart. And against all the odds, I was able to become the first person of color to represent upstate New York in Congress. Always remember that when you love, anything is possible, including finding your truth. You just need to make yourself vulnerable, trust in the goodness of others, and lead with your heart. Now, I know the times that we are in, it's easy to be cynical and pessimistic about the world around us. There's a lot of hate and hostility bubbling up to the surface, divisiveness, anger, and fear. We are struggling to see the humanity in each other, trapped in bubbles of misinformation and manipulation. And once humans stop seeing other humans as humans, the most horrific acts are possible. Please know that hate and hostility can never be the answer or even the means to a justified end. As Dr. King once told us, destructive means cannot be constructive ends. We must always work to conduct our struggle on the high plane of dignity and discipline. In other words, never lose sight of our shared humanity. Always remember that justice is not hateful retribution, but rather love in action. Whatever your pursuit from here on out, try your very best to anchor that pursuit in love. Try your very best to let the power of love move through all that you do, from your personal life, your professional life. Let that power guide you and help you heed your better angels to reveal whatever your ultimate purpose may be. Now, more than ever, we need to love each other, to restore civility in our public discourse and the dignity of humanity in our shared experiences. So, graduates, as you prepare to make your own mark on this world, please know that what the world needs more than anything right now from you is to love yourself, love your community, love your family, love your state, love your country. To the class of 2024, I wish you all the very best on your journey. I love you.
Queensborough Community College. Community College. Community. I emphasize the word community because ours is a community. Each of us unified here today, celebrating our achievements as one that belongs to everyone. Class of 2024, I gaze upon your faces, and what I see is the best definition of community. In the diversity of our backgrounds, experiences, stories, and ideas, we are strengthened by our relationship with each other. Today's graduation ceremony becomes more memorable because we commemorate it together. The value of our community college education cannot be measured solely by our academic or future professional achievements, but by our sense of belonging and collectiveness, which motivates us to care for and about others, while sharing and appreciating our differences, our identity, and our values. Attending Queensborough Community College has been more than a means to an end. I have experienced that being part of diverse and inclusive communities helps us grow to become people capable of transforming lives. Far from just personal academic success, I have learned that kindness, encouragement, generosity, and attentiveness from the people surrounding us are the valuable gestures that keep us thriving throughout the most challenging times. Please allow me to elaborate on this idea by briefly sharing my journey. February 23rd, 2017 marked the beginning of a journey brimming with aspirations, courage, and uncertainties. With nothing more than a one-way ticket clasped tightly in my hand and the weight of my dreams within the confines of an old backpack, my husband and I boarded a plane bidding farewell to the shores of the Dominican Republic. Driven by an unyielding desire to pursue new knowledge and further my education, I departed from the refuge of my family, friends, and culture. I was determined to seize the opportunity to lay the groundwork for the college education I yearned for, a dream deferred in my homeland. As an immigrant, first generation, low-income, non-traditional student, I learned firsthand the barriers many of us face in pursuing a college education. Navigating the language barriers and unraveling the intricacies of the American education and financial systems posed significant challenges in my college journey. Nonetheless, enrolling at Queensborough Community College marked a pivotal moment in my quest to pursue my education. It became a milestone that initiated the realization of my lifelong dream to be the first in my family to attain a college degree in America. My experience at Queensborough became the route where my academic ambitions flourished by cultivating my social skills, fostering my intellectual curiosity, nurturing my desire for learning, and offering numerous opportunities for a student with an unconventional background. After a near 8-year gap in my education, I was overwhelmed by the infinite possibilities I had yet to explore. Most of all, I was excited to be part of a community where everyone shared a common goal: the relentless pursuit of a college education. Initially, joining the ASAP and CUNY START programs provided me with the confidence to begin my studies. The commitment of their faculty and staff provided me with the necessary tools and the support to get to where I am today. Motivated by my gratitude and a profound desire to pay it forward, I became a math tutor in the CUNY START program. It was an opportunity to impart my knowledge and support others navigating a similar path. From there, even more doors of opportunity began to open. From engaging in QCC's undergraduate research day with faculty, to participating in fellowships, internships, clubs, such as the Foreign Language Society and the ASAP Club, anything became possible. Through my experiences, I discovered a core value essential to my identity and development as a future mental health professional: giving myself to the service of others. These experiences provided me with opportunities for personal growth, and I believe the lessons we learn from our experiences should not be kept to ourselves, but rather shared generously to benefit all. My fellow graduates, receiving a college education has been a gift turned into an opportunity to broaden our horizons, deepen our knowledge, expand our skills, empower impactful change, and open doors for others to follow in our footsteps. It aligns with our commitment to creating lasting positive impact and fostering change for those in need. Graduating class of 2024, let us stand as beacons of inspiration for future generations. Let us show that regardless of the challenges, with hard work, determination, and perseverance, higher education is both attainable and invaluable. Thank you. Our achievement has not only fostered personal and academic growth, but also equipped us with the tools and experiences necessary to advocate for our peers, helping them navigate their educational paths, empowering them to reach their goals and aspirations, to emerge as leaders in their communities. In the words of Philippians, do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to your own interests, but also to the interests of others. Congratulations, graduating class of 2024. Our hard work and determination have paid off. And now, it's time to rejoice in our achievements together. We made it. Congratulations.
As we gather here today on the Great Lawn for this college 75th commencement, we celebrate not only your academic achievements, but also the incredible journey each of you have undertaken. A journey marked by growth, perseverance, and remarkable success. I am deeply honored to stand before you this year as the honorary recipient of this doctorate degree from CSI. Today, I can say I'm officially a dolphin with pride. Yes. This recognition is not only a personal milestone for me, but a profound acknowledgement of the values that we hold dear: a commitment to excellence, integrity, inclusivity, and unwavering service. These principles have not only shaped my 27-year career in the Coast Guard, including my recently promotion to Admiral, being the first in the Coast Guard 234 history, but also underscores, thank you, the power of resilience and dedication in the face of adversity. 27 years ago, like many of you, a first-generation college student, excited yet nervous, I was filled with doubt about my abilities. Joining the Coast Guard, I had no idea what I was getting myself into and wondered if I was enough. What I discovered, not only was I enough, I was more than enough, more than capable to rise and meet every challenge. As you depart today, remember each step forward, even the uncertain ones, built upon the last, proving that persistence, coupled with a deep-seated belief in one's own potential, can lead to extraordinary outcomes. Over the past 4 years living here on Staten Island, I led Coast Guard operations in New York and New Jersey as the commander of Sector New York, safeguarding one of the world's most critical maritime transportation systems. This role demanded constant learning, adapting, and innovating, similar to your academic pursuits here at CSI. CSI stands for a beacon of opportunity and inclusivity, much like the Coast Guard. It is a place where diverse backgrounds converge in shared pursuit of knowledge, where challenges are met with courage and resolve, and where you have been equipped to face complex global challenges and make meaningful contributions. You have already been tested. You have been tested today, and you will continue to be tested. But what I say is when things are at its worst, dolphins are at their best. That is so true, and you are proving that today. Entering college during a global pandemic, you adapted to new modes of learning and interactions with incredible resilience. Through your college journey, you witnessed significant social upheavals, from local crisis to protests to international conflict, strengthening your capacity for empathy and understanding. As dolphins, you've shown remarkable resilience and determination in navigating through challenging times. Just like your motto says, fear the fin. You face challenges head on, showing that nothing can deter your spirit and your drive. You've already conquered so much, and now it's time to fiercely dive into the next chapter of your lives, ready to make waves and leave your mark on the world, just as true dolphins do every day. So today, we not only celebrate your accomplishments, but also mark this beginnings with your new journeys, where you will apply your education, embrace new challenges, and even have greater accomplishments and achievements. Armed with the knowledge at CSI, you are stepping into a world filled with opportunity. While I am humbled to accept this honorary degree, I know that today is about you, the class of 2024. You are the new pioneers equipped with a transformative education, driven by passion and guided by integrity. Take with you the lessons that you've learned of resiliency and adaptability you have learned here. Let these lessons guide you and tackle the world challenges and seize its opportunities. Remember, the journey you've taken here at CSI is just the beginning. The world awaits you, your talents, your energy, and your commitment to make a difference. In closing, I wish you congratulations, class of 2024, on this remarkable milestone. May your paths be adventurous, your lives fulfilling, and your careers impactful. Believe in yourself as we believe in you today. And let's give these extraordinary graduates another round of applause. Thank you so much, and go Dolphins.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the 2024 CUNY BA commencement. I am so excited and honored to be the student speaker this year. Like so many of my fellow graduates, this program means so much to me. Not many people can say that they created a degree in something they're truly passionate about, but everyone in this room can attest that that is exactly what CUNY BA allows students to accomplish. Like many CUNY BA students, I always find myself being asked the question, how did you find out about this program? The answer I have might shock many of you. I first learned about the CUNY BA program during a class titled Human Rights and the Death Penalty. I know, it was a pretty interesting class to have as my first introduction to the program to which I owe so much now. A student in that class told me she was majoring in art curation. I remember first thinking, I wonder why she's taking a class about the death penalty. But then that quickly shifted to, wait, I didn't know that Hunter had an art curation major. When I asked her how many other people were in her major, she simply told me none. That made me even more confused, but then she told me about the CUNY BA program and how she was able to create her own major in her niche areas of interest. While I don't remember her name, she changed the entire trajectory of my undergraduate career. I completed my application for the CUNY BA program on the same day I first learned of its existence. I immediately knew that this was the correct path for me. Through CUNY BA, I have created two majors that are very distinct representations of my two academic passions. The first area of concentration I made is titled Performing Arts. I was 2 years old the first time I stepped on stage to dance. My mother claims she knew immediately that I would love the stage, and clearly, since I'm able to give this speech, I'm not afraid of standing in front of a large audience. CUNY BA allowed me to continue learning about the arts in such meaningful ways. It even led me to create my thesis around the concept that art can be a form of activism. My love for the arts have made me into the person I am today, and I could not be more thankful for anything the performing arts has contributed to my life, and for CUNY BA for fostering that love and appreciation I have. My other area of concentration is social justice. I have always been a very spirited person. When I'm passionate about something, everybody knows. It's not difficult to imagine, knowing all this, that at the age of 16, I was going to gun violence protests, filming dance videos for the Seneca Falls Women's Rights Convention, and even writing letters to coffee companies asking them to open locations in my hometown, which they ended up doing. Throughout it all, two people have diligently stood by my side. My parents. They bought me supplies to make my protest signs, drove me to all my rehearsals, and supported all my aspirations along the way. They have always been the biggest supporters of every accomplishment I've achieved. The first ribbon I won when I was 10 for my first dance solo was just as celebrated as all my diplomas. Mom and Dad, thank you for all you have done and continue to do for me. Life is so much fun having partners in crime like you. I hope with everything I continue to do, I make you proud. Your passion, dedication, and love have always inspired me to chase my dreams while helping others. Thank you for being the best role models I ever could have asked for. My time at CUNY BA has been nothing short of exceptional. From appearing in subway ads to standing up here before you all, CUNY BA has provided me with so many exciting opportunities that never would have happened without the support of everyone here. This program has left me feeling engaged in my studies and has truly changed the way I think about academia. In CUNY BA, I found a community that fosters my many desires and passions and connects me with people just as determined to follow all their dreams. Thank you to every faculty member here, every student I've come in contact with, and everyone connected to CUNY BA in some way. We are so lucky to have a program that values our individual passions. I urge you all to continue following your dreams. If there's a will, there's a way. Go out into the world and forge your own path. Create unique degrees, study law and dance at the same time, become a dancing lawyer, and always remember that you can never have too many interests. The things you are passionate about are the things that make you who you are. Do all the things you love and do them with pride. Stand up for what you believe in and speak for those who are unable to do it themselves. I leave you with the words of Nelson Mandela. Education is the most powerful weapon for changing the world. I urge you all to keep this sentiment with you as we celebrate all of our accomplishments today. I'm so excited to see what the future has in store for all of us. Congratulations to the 2024 CUNY VA graduates.